What it gonna be like? What's happening, y'all? It's Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, the founder, the president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Yeah, what's happening? So we about to get to it, y'all. We literally, you see all them boxes and things behind me? Yeah. We dropping the load, man. We dropping the load. Got me a long one today, so I got plenty of time to talk to y'all between jumping out the car and dropping these joints. You know how I do when I do what I do. I don't let no time be wasted time. Shout out to all my YouTubers that's making it happen no matter what the circumstances, man. We found a way to make sure we dropping content constantly. Yes, it's me. All right? Let's go. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen. Yes, I was about to say the lyric from Black Sheep. Certain words, if I say them, I'm like, oh, I'm about to start rapping. I'm about to start dropping bars up here. Selective memory of favorite tracks that old school Black Sheep dreads say. Constantly. Yes, it's me. D-R-E-S. So let's... Did you finish it? You're a real one if you did. You know, real hip-hop for real talk. And young folk, ain't no problem. You can be real too. You just got to catch up and respect your elders. That's all. Remember around here, respect first, then power, then money. We ain't putting money first. You better believe that. Money come and go. And money's created by human beings to be something that it ain't. Yeah. You put a value on something that really ain't got no value. Truth be told. I said you put a value on something truly ain't got no value. It's conceptual. If you're in your mind, you say this is worth this, I'll die for this, I'll kill for this. And you know, you can be a slave to the drama. But otherwise, if you free, respect is the only thing. Respect is first. Respect is valuable. Respect is constant, eternal, universal. I said universal. So we're going to get into it today. We're going to talk about some respectful ideals that we have as an organization and how we move. Okay, because I was doing this on my other live. I was live over on our fan base. If you're not on fan base yet, what you doing? What you doing? Why don't you diversify your social media portfolio? Go get you a fan base too. Fan base is where it's at. It's the future. It's got a lot of potential. I'm gonna say it like that. You know, it's like all the rest of them. Everything, including this, it's got its glitches. It's got its issues. But when it's working, it's got that thing. Here I go again. Got lyrics in my head. Dang it. She got that thing. Y'all know about that? It's that E40. And I forget the other dude. It's really his track, but E40 on it, so he stands out major. I've been searching for you like a browser. I've been searching for you like a browser. That's my lyric right there. E40. Girl, I've been searching for you like a browser. Woo! Bars. Yo. So, we're gonna talk about some travel, as y'all know I love to do. Cause I've been watching an overload. I've been binging expat videos. People living abroad, doing life, living the dream, man. Living the dream. At least it's part of my dream. It may not be yours. It's definitely part of mine. Okay. And that's someone who has traveled a bit. And with the little bit I have had, I did major stuff. I always say, you know, it's like I went and got a black belt on my first trip, man. Went all the way to Southeast Asia. Anybody who traveled know what I'm just saying. Anybody who ain't never been there, oh, that ain't nothing. I done been 20, 50, but yeah. Well, I got a friend who done went 30-something plus places, but even he said, man, you done lapped me. I said, how the hell I lap you on the race of life, so to speak, with people making these trips, man? I ain't got the money to do what you done. I ain't been to none of them places. He's like, yeah, but I ain't been that far. And I took that as what that was. That was Jedi respect. That was one Jedi nodding to the other one saying, I see you, man. You did that. I said, well, thank you, brother. Thank you. And then right after you say thank you, just fall out and go to sleep because it's one of the most exhausting trips I've ever taken in my life. But I do it again. I got to get my mind and heart ready for another Southeast Asia trip. I ain't gonna front, man. That travel is different. That is different. From Atlanta to there, them long ass layovers and stuff, and anybody talking about I don't do layovers. Well, I know you crazy because you gonna beg for a layover on that 24 hours. You're like, can this plane please get on the ground? I don't care if you got first class and can lay back and go to sleep and all that stuff y'all be bragging about. with your first class fanciness. Good for you. Good for you. Well, the rest of us slumming it in these other chairs, and I was not going to sleep. I couldn't damn sleep. I'm not good for sleeping on a plane. I'm not one of them people who sleep on planes. I don't do that well. I end up with a crook in my neck, jacked up for a week, muscle pains and mess. I ain't cool with that. So I know one thing. I would want a first class ticket next time I go that far to make sure I can lay down comfortably. You know, I was watching somebody talking about their journey to even get over to Thailand, and they were describing Emirates flights as being the best creme de la creme of what they've ever been on. I said, oh, and Qatar and all that. I've never been on either one, but I have been on Turkish Airlines, and they were nice. Turkish was nice, but the seats wasn't like that. Now the folk up in first class was like that. And they were saying how, man, they said, those seats are so nice. They said, you lay back, you literally have your own TV, your own little bed. I said, that sounds real nice. That sounds real nice. Because it's the one thing you long for after you done had them kind of long flights. You're going to get to a point where you crash. And for me, it was in the airports. I remember myself like propping myself up over some of them very uncomfortable airport seats and put my bag underneath my head. And then I had like one of my ONYXCON fishing tournament jerseys. I folded it into a little pillow and put it, and that's how I went to sleep for it. It really wasn't sleep, just like when they say rest in your eyes, but even that feel good when you're that tired. Yeah, I was doing that kind of thing. And it was still very uncomfortable, because you know, them hard plastic seats, man, it was terrible. So I done learned, like, yo, if you're gonna do that kind of travel, you gotta. Yes, y'all, here we go. We still in it. Let's go. So, it is so freaking hot outside. Good gracious. 100 degrees, just that's different. Everything on the way to it is miserable, but when you actually, you know, you're 90 this, 90 that, but when you literally hit 100 degrees, good gracious alive. Sheesh, wees. It's different, man. My hat is off to everybody out there in Phoenix, Arizona, and places like that. Like, I've known some folk from out there, and they would tell me about the stuff they witnessed, like, you know, seeing stuff melted, forget something, or leave something in your car that can't be left like that, and it's melted. I mean, like, literally melted. Or your certain shoes, yo, melt. You know, like, that's crazy. That's crazy for real. And it just is what it is. That's the way it is. It's just that kind of hot. And you have to be really strategic about how you move in that kind of heat and stuff, you know. Naturally, of course, staying hydrated, but like, man, just to know that something can literally melt like that. And then, you know, you got the opposite extremes. Like, I've known people who grew up in Chicago and stuff. And they talk about, like, it gets so cold, you go outside, you blow some air, you go, and it just turned to little icicles and drop to the ground. Like, the mist turned into icicles and fall. I mean, you know, not icicles, but, you know, ice crystals, little tiny dots of ice. I said, good gosh almighty, man. Like, just to even know that cold can get that cold or hot can get that hot, it's amazing. Yeah. So as we continue, yeah, okay. So, you know, I gave that story to say this. You know, demographics that do not mix at all, they like oil and water, can end up shoulder to shoulder in a situation when gentrification starts to happen, because it's a process. And sometimes, in some cases, it's really sweet. It's a sweep real quick. Most of the time when it's a sweep real quick, that means the oldest families that lived in that area, the grandmas and grandpas, whatever, they died off or was bought out. So by the time all that is taking its effect, there could be literally one month where finally the whole block is just a ghost town. There could be remnants of, if it's an impoverished area, there could be remnants of, they ain't got nothing, no deeds, no nothing. They just literally break into a place that's abandoned and living out of it. But all that gets cleared. Some folk in jail, running them out, whatever. And then the rest of it is just bulldozing. And next thing you know, you got these pop-up nice houses and everything, and it's couldn't believe it was ever going to ever get like that area, which is good to see something nice come. But the problem is the folk who struggled to be there all their life, and not everybody who was in that struggle was shiesty, was doing something on some pimp trick, gangster clique type They wasn't about none of that. They just some everyday people trying to survive, man. Blue collar, what have you, you know, service workers, etc. And I've seen this with my own tool, how it happens, the process, you know. And then I even seen like somebody showing. I remember I documented this. Yep. So yeah, y'all. It's like it's just getting to the point where it's, you know, for those of us who working for these pathetic wages, there's never enough for you to really thrive. You just survive. If that, it's harder and harder to just survive, man. You know, the cost of food and everything. Everything's high. It is because of these damn tariffs and everything else going on. It ain't just that. It's the whole big thing. It's all that plus. That's definitely on the list. That's one of the number one issues. But there's the trickle down effect of everything else that affects. And so those who can figure out a way to get the hell on are getting the hell on, right? And when you think about how many people and how many families that is who are willing to leave. And see, that's the only thing, keyword is willing. Everybody be done gone. It would be no different than people leaving cities if it were more affordable, or if the concept, because it is more affordable, but the process is not necessarily affordable. Okay, flight, moving a bunch of stuff overseas, that's expensive. But then that's again, it's willingness. Are you willing to let some shit go? Everybody who I've seen that did it and did it right, they all say the same thing. They say, I sold everything. Now, we know that don't literally mean everything. But what they're saying is you got to learn to let go of stuff that you could live without. Like, you know, do I really need this thing I say I need? That make, you know, you make these things part of your identity, these objects, you know, whatever it be, clothes, shoe, your TV, your car. Like, what do you really need to survive? Do you need peace of mind? Is peace more important to you? If the answer to that is yes, then yeah, you could be an expat. Because all the people I see these great interviews that have done it, they are all of the same mentality when it comes to that. They all say the same thing. They say, man, my peace is worth it. It's worth all of what I went through to get here. It's worth what I'm going to do to stay here. And they be in Thailand and Kenya and Mexico and, oh my gosh, Dominican Republic. And I mean, yeah, it just, the list is long. But at the same time, it's kind of short because there's the popular places. There's the popular places amongst all what most people go to, and demographically what most folk go to. Some black folk in America only want to go where they feel like they can see somebody that reminds them of what they're used to seeing when they see other black people, what they define as black. Okay, and even that to me is. I get it, I understand it, if that's a necessary thing for you. That's not as much a big deal to me, you know? Because first of all, I would never, I'm gonna say never, it would not be in my intent to ever get to the point where I can't come home. If I need to come home, I come home. I come home, I see my folk, I hang out, give it a month or so, or whatever it would be if I was living like that, and then go right back to where I'm at, where it's better and more affordable and everything else. If I done got used to that and I like where I'm at and I'm healthy and everything else is right, that's life. That's goals. That's what we all say we need. But then when you really got to get down to it, to the sacrifices necessary to make it possible, some folk ain't gonna do it, which is why they end up stuck and they just don't go nowhere. They don't even vacation. A lot of people don't even have a passport. But the irony of it all, the more these YouTubers, and I'm one of them, I'm a YouTuber, but I'm a responsible YouTuber. I'm very responsible about how I use that tool. I don't take for granted, because I know I even got into, I always wanted to travel. I was gonna be a traveler regardless. But I made decisions on places I went based on videos. People's videos and what they went through, and me knowing my personality and comparing it to what I'm hearing them say, saying, yeah, that sounds like me, but yeah, that don't sound like me. And that sounds like something I could care less about. So no, I'm glad you told me that was a big deal for you, because for me, that's trash. I ain't worried about that. I need this other thing you said. So I easily determined places I wanted to go and things I wanted to see in different places. And it made a difference. It literally made the trip night and day to what some other people might constantly gripe about when they go to these places. Like I say many times when I say about República Dominicana, man, for me, I don't need to be in the midst of all the hype, and I don't need to be in no ghetto environment to keep it real and feel like I saw the real. That's not, the hood is just as real as any nice area. Where's the nice area, please? Thank you, I'll be over there. That don't mean I want to be somewhere where somebody's treating me like crap, because I may not be as rich as everybody else in that area, but I will be wherever somebody knows how to treat me, and that be anywhere I'm at, whether it's lower income or higher income. But I'm looking for the good energy. Some folk, they feed off of that negative, dumb, gotta feel danger, gotta feel, man, and that's pathetic. But that's also the kind of mentality that either never leaves when things are getting worse in a place, but also will go seek the same energy when they go somewhere else. It may be a few notches less, or because of the language and cultural differences, they feel like, well, this is the exotic version of something. To them, that's the turn on. I'm getting the exotic version of the same mess I left. It's like, man, what's wrong with y'all? I ain't trying to deal with none of that. But then the funny thing about that energy, when you go seeking that kind of stupidity, if you decide to settle there, enough other people see that person and they say, man, oh shit, he in the hood and he doing good. Okay, so then they gonna think they can do it too. Now you start a problem. Now it becomes a different form of gentrification. Then you got Americans that can't survive here because you know how crazy the money is here, but will go to other people's countries acting big willy. And you see it time and time again. At a certain point, people get fed up because the folk who own the buildings and stuff start raising the rent. They say, oh, we got some Americans. We don't even care. If we got 10 Americans in this building, I don't care if we got 20 of these locals, because the locals can't pay what the Americans can pay. Let's raise the rent to the price of the Americans. Even if we got some empty rooms, by the end of the year, we might fill the rest of the 10, because they be on YouTube and bragging about how nice it is here, and everybody else gonna come that's like them. And they don't care about the type that's coming either. So if they're the bragging type in that negative way, I ain't talking about just being happy about where you're at and showcasing how much better life can be. I'm talking about that real, throw it in your face type BS and want to just be real ugly about it. Not leading with respect. Like I say, being responsible about that camera, the power that camera holds, and how or what energy you attract when you push out a certain image, and it ain't about just no clothes or nothing either. Okay, I'm talking about how you act when you got them on. You know what I'm saying? I wear a clean white tee, but my pants gonna be on my ass. There's a difference. I like Jordans. I don't even have no Jordans. I ain't yet. I mean, when I buy my next, if not first ever, yeah, can you believe that? Even from a generation that gave birth to all that, I had one hand-me-down pair. That was it. Thanks, Dad. Like literally, I had one when I was in high school, and then after that, I never even bought another pair or anything, because it's too damn expensive. And half the time, to be honest, if I didn't like the design, I didn't care about no label. It was like, man, this damn shoe is ugly to me, or I ain't got enough stuff in my closet to match one pair of shoes. That didn't make logical sense to me. So as I've gotten older and things are now, we're in the discount era where people, some people understand how to shop discount, and they be at the stores I be at. Oh man, you're lucky enough to find your size when it go on sale. You can get a lot of stuff and match up a lot of cool outfits and stuff. And I have fun with that. I enjoy doing that. But I also ain't about to stress myself about it. And I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. I'm not trying to. I don't care what anybody else thinks. It's just what works for me and when it can work. I'm not nobody else's schedule and time, or when I get fresh, how I get fresh, etc. So going back to my point about how people come off and stuff, like, that's how you carry yourself. Always, always, in every place and anything you do. And for some people who understand that, like I say again, always lead with respect first, then power, then money. You can go anywhere in the world, man, and people gonna love you. They're gonna want you there. They're gonna want to keep you there. They're gonna like your energy. They're gonna help you stay there if you want to be there. But if you got that real, everybody here is supposed to be the help and kiss my ass because you from America and you're a jackass, man, that's why people are protesting right now in Mexico. You got folk tagging. You got punk type groups, anarchist groups I've seen in the videos I watched, tagging up on side of walls. No gringos, go home gringo. I said, ooh, I would not want to be in Mexico City right now. It's just, and it's sad because I want to visit there. It's like, I want to go see some Lucha Libre. I want to go see the pyramids that are nearby. I want to see all that, but not right now. And it's all because of that energy that some Americans done brought and made people turn and think that that's all of it. That ain't all of it. That's them fools. If you just, you need, like, if you just knew enough about each other on both sides, we could help each other figure out who's coming in and only get the best and leave the rest. Oh yeah, it could be like that. And that new day could be coming. So just think about that. And let me know what y'all think in the comments, because I got more to say about this topic, but for now, I'm going to go on and cut this one short.